Good morning, good morning. What is going on? Hope everybody's doing fantastic. All right. So let's go through the day. So if you guys remember, the trade that we took last night ended up closing it at break even right around this area here. And my God, was that an early close, because missed out on the move that we were initially anticipating into the 1 hour gap. Crazy stuff. So ended up missing out on that last night from the break even close. Yeah, we hit the 1 hour gap. We got a 5-minute change in state of delivery. So, and this thing should be bearish, but we went and took this low and we're now bouncing. So there's kind of like a range that we're in here. You guys can see like range high, range low. You guys can see we're just trading inside of this range. No breakout out of this range yet. So we'll see. We will see what this does. We are inside of this 15-minute wick CE here. So important to note for sure. I do want to see this like kind of start to break out of this range in order to do something. So we're not really bouncing off of anything really. If anything, we're bouncing off of a 1 hour rejection block. This was beautiful, bro. This rejection here. If I was awake at 5 a.m., dude, this was such a nice rejection. Yeah, beautiful rejection. So we have this hourly and the 15-minute wick CE here. Interested to see how this plays out. Did your trade play out from last night? It did. It did. Yeah, full TP got hit from last night. Ridiculous, bruv. And then the short trade from last night also played out very nicely, bro. From the hourly gap, it played out beautifully. This is starting to reject here. Like I really am. I don't hate this at all. And it's like I would like to get something here before 9:30, because we've been seeing what 9:30 does. 9:30 literally just expands. We haven't been getting any Judas swing at 9:30, so my bias is bearish. For now, it's still bearish, but we are inside of a range, right? So gotta kind of acknowledge this range before you do anything else, right? Gotta acknowledge that we're trading inside of this range. But right now, I am bearish. I've been bearish, so I'm gonna continue to be bearish here. I don't know. We'll kind of watch and see what this does here through this open, because not like super confident getting something here at the open. Not like very confident about it at the open. Even though I have a bearish bias, I'm not like 100% confident on an opening move. So it'll be difficult to kind of place myself here inside of this move if I'm not very confident. We are playing out to the downside here. Rejecting from the hourly gap. Like, it looks good. It does look good for some downside. I may participate here at the open. Only thing with the open is like we don't know if this is going to expand immediately or if it's actually going to give me a Judas swing here. Usually NQ gives a Judas swing, right, at the open. But all of last week and the week before, we were just expanding at the open. No Judas swing at all. So not sure if that's going to continue into this week here. And yesterday doesn't really count, but we can see what this did yesterday. Yesterday, we kind of had a bit of a Judas. I mean, yesterday's open was pretty shit. Can't really count it. It's President's Day. Whatever I take here, it'd probably be like 2 to 3 micros, bro. It'd be a lighter trade for sure. But let's see. I mean, this is starting to look really good. I do like the look. As long as it continues and we get a closure here, I do like the look. The daily FVG was the initial spot that I was trying to get a short at. This daily FVG all the way up here. This is where I was initially trying to like play out a short from. But as you guys can see on, well, this is Monday. This is Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, this daily candle. But we couldn't quite get there. That was the issue, right? Like it was a little short of that. Did we inverse this to the upside? No, not yet. Never mind. The lows do not look that good anymore. Not on the 1 minute at least. Let's see how this closes. This was just short of, I mean, it closed like directly at the level. Yeah, it looks like we'll inverse the 1 minute there. Hit that gap and immediate rejection. Definitely a very nice closure there. See if we can make a little bit of a move up for an entry, because an entry down here is just a bit ridiculous. So maybe a little bit higher, and I'm not opposed to getting a short. like a small little short here. Never mind. Never mind, no short. This is crazy open, bro. Better to just kind of just wait. Better to wait. See, whenever we do something like this where we inverse bullish PDRAs but then re-inverse back to the upside, I mean, you already know that this is not the greatest looking. Yeah, but SMT doesn't really mean anything, right? SMT does not mean an entry. Yep, SMT at the highs, SMT at the lows. I mean, we got SMT all over the place here, bro. Are we just gonna come right back down now? This is just nasty work. We just rejected this. Actually, nope, did not get there. Better to just wait. Better to wait. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Way better to just wait. Do we need a bearish close for it to be a valid? No. Does not need a closure for there to be SMT. I'm not too sure where this thing is going, but at this point, I would imagine, right, for the second time that we're coming into this hourly gap, I would imagine that we get a push through. Like maybe now, possible that this reaches up into that upper area of this 4-hour gap that I initially wanted. Yeah, looks much better for the upside right now. I think we just inverse this 1-hour gap. Need a nice looking entry here. We'll inverse this 15-minute here as well. 5-minute gap, 5-minute gap, 1-minute gap here as well. Yeah, I'm a fan of this, like a pullback and then a long. It's just like where from. Don't want to put on too much risk. But I do think that this 1-hour gap could get closed through. And then the 4-hour gap can become that target. I'm all for that move. Still overall bearish, but would really like to see that 4-hour gap, man. Okay, are we gonna pull back here? Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm just waiting for a pullback here, bro. Literally just trying to get for a pullback. 721.75. Yeah, no, bro. Did you take that? Did anybody in the Discord take that from last night? It was a heater, bro. That was an absolute heater. Dude, can we pull back here? Thank you very much. Yeah, for sure we just close through this hourly gap here at this point. We're going to be targeting all these highs. More importantly, like all the way at the top, but I'll mark all of these highs out. These are all going to be targets. These are the targets. These three are the targets, right? Previous day high is the final target. We've already went and took out the previous day and previous week low. We took that last night on stream. So now, you know, the fact that we've retraced over half of this range, you know, tells me that we're more than likely just going to expand to previous day high. And it starts to look pretty good for the upside. Yeah, if we could pull down towards this area, I have a 727. I do really like this 727.5. I'll limit that with probably a 20-point stop loss. Try this. If it comes down there. If it cracks this high, I'm just going to remove the limit. If it gets above the current high. We do have equal highs though, so if we leave this on MNQ at least, so if we leave these and pull down, it looks pretty good to come back up. But this is having a hard time pulling back at all. Yeah, nope, not a single pullback, bro. Not a single pullback. 842 next, then 922, and then 995. 25,000 basically is like the final target. Not final, but it could definitely go higher than 25k. But yeah, that area is where I would be anticipating. Can we get a long? Can we get a long? Try out the CE one more time. Why the CE of the 1 minute, not the 5? Well, the 5, I'm anticipating the 5 to be like way too deep of a pullback. Because this, you guys see how much strength this thing has? I mean, it could bounce from the CE of the 5 as well, like 699 area, right? This 699, 700 area, for sure, could bounce from here as well, right? But this is what I'm willing to try first, assuming that this has as much strength as it shows. You guys can see there's a ton of strength here, so I'm just playing into that. I mean, shit, it might not even come all the way down here, bro. It might just bounce from this upper 1 minute gap. Absolutely possible. It has a lot of strength here, so would I like a pullback into the 5 minute CE? I mean, yeah, that'd be cool, but the strength that it's showing right now, to me, tells me that we're not seeing that deep of a pullback. It absolutely could, but I'm going to play this first. Play into this one first. Okay, we have 728.5 is my limit here. 728.5 is my limit. We are in a 4-hour FVG. We did hit the CE of this 4-hour. That's for sure worth noting. This is what I was looking at earlier. For sure worth noting, the 794 level. And we can kind of see what happens to this thing over the course of this next hour or so. Yeah, if this is bearish, this is the high. This has to be high of day. Okay, I got tapped into that 728, so Let's see if this can pick up some strength. Nope, let's bank moment. Let's bank moment right here, bro. Yeah, that was let's bank moment. Quick stop there on 20 points. The only place that this would be like half decent looking from is 699.5. 699.5. If that doesn't bounce, which is like the 5-minute CE here, if that doesn't bounce, this is the high day. This is kind of the last area where this could potentially bounce from. We haven't even closed the 15-minute. We're starting to wick like really heavily here. Same thing with the 5. We're pushing through this 5. I haven't limited 699 yet. No. Yeah, I'm just gonna give it a sec. I'm gonna give it a sec and wait. 699, I would have a 20 point stop loss as well, so it'd be 79. Let me map this out, see if it hits that 79. But this very well could be the high a day up here inside of this 4-hour. Yep, see, there you go. 699 got absolutely wrecked. So yeah, this absolutely could be the high of day here. I'm thinking there's a very good chance this could be a high a day. I was hoping that it wasn't going to reject this area and we'd be continuing through. At least it would hold like the 5-minute gap. But yeah, we did get a fat rejection off of that. So looks like this isn't going to go any higher. That's got to be, well, this is not high a day, but technically this is high a day. Technically this is the Tuesday high a day. Yeah. But Monday and Sunday, it's combined into one daily candle because the short week. So it's kind of fucking it up. But yeah, this is Tuesday high a day. Should be no more like 15-minute gap or anything like that. This 15-minute CE absolutely is playable. This is, what is this? 758.25. That is not a bad short there. But this is proving only one thing, that we're still just kind of ranging. Still very range bound. I mean, it broke out of the range here. We have a range like this. We did break out, but now we're pulling right back inside of the range, disrespecting any and all bullish PDRAs. So 15-minute CE is here. So let's see. Looks like search and destroy. Yeah, it does. It does look a bit like search and destroy for sure. Maybe this thing is just going to wait for the FOMC meeting minutes tomorrow. Did we edge Asia highs though? Yeah, we did edge Asia highs. I would use this 5-minute gap as an entry, but this is going to be way too much risk here. Fucking 158 points of risk if you use 5-minute gap as an entry. So now it needs to pull back to the upside. This is pretty shit, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This is pretty shit. That was the trade there. Hard to have something. Did I have a level there? No. Yeah, this is very V-shaped. That's what I'm saying. I think that this is high of day here. This Tuesday high day is what I would imagine. No, this is not quite Judas swing. This is, I mean, this high was 935, 940. Like, I would have liked to see something much cleaner on a lower time frame. Yep, new 4-hour. The 10 a.m. is going to open up here very soon as well. I mean, there's nothing from a 15-minute besides this wick CE that the 10 a.m. could reject from, though. So it's going to have to come back up into that area, hopefully, here at 10 a.m. We'll inverse the 5-minute here in the next 30 seconds. Again, it is an entry, but there is way too much risk here, right? Way too much risk on the table. From where we currently are, it's 181 points of risk to the stop. Let's see if it closes and where it closes. Okay, there we go. So there's the closure. Oh, no way, bro. Crazy edge of the close. It didn't even close through. That's just wild. All right, we'll see if it can come back up into that CE. That would be where I would place my trade at here. But this is just very fucky. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Very, very fucky here right now. We went from range high, range low to range high, now probably back to range low. The only thing that's been very clear this entire week so far, and it's only been 2 days, but the only thing that's been clear this week is the bias. The bias has been very clear. Price is playing out towards the bias, but the entries themselves inside of the range suck. Like here last night, New York AM, we weren't going to take any trade here because this was a short day. The entries from last night were very mid. And then here in New York, we're not seeing any entry here aside from this 4-hour wick CE. That's it. I'm talking about the entry that I took last night, the Asia long that I took. I ended up closing it break even, but dude, it was an absolutely beautiful play into that hourly gap. And then the hourly gap, we had 721, the level rejected to that was the high of London. Played out beautifully, but unfortunately I'm not awake 24/7 to be able to catch that trade, you know? We're so far below this fucking 15-minute wick CE now. This 4-hour candle is pretty crazy. It's a little nuts, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm more concerned about getting a goddamn entry here, bro. There's nothing. We got nothing. Enter now, stop at the high. Yeah, that would look like a 250 point stop loss. So 250 point stop, bro. Something light for real. Yeah, looks like this is just gonna play out to the lows, bro. Not a single entry here. Quite devastating. Negative RR low-key meta. I'd love to have gone short here personally for a swing. It's not letting me place an order for some reason at all. This is probably not returning back to the 15-minute wick CE. I think that is now a little unrealistic. So like this continued move lower is what I would expect here. These are the 3 levels we have marked out. Remember, this is 490.5. This is from last night. Then we have 426.25, and then we have 240, and then we have under 25K or under 24K. Under 24K is like where this thing is going to go eventually. But I would really love an entry, dude. It's been shitty about giving entries. Very shitty about giving entries. 15-minute order block. I mean, yeah, so like I would consider this entire thing an order block, right? Like from here. This series of up close candles is going to be the order block. This is still a lot of risk. From here to the high, it's 200 points of risk if you're going to stop at the order block high, right? There's a good amount of risk here, and we're not seeing a pullback. Why are you guys trading heavy? Like, you guys should not be blowing funded here. You guys see me trading 3 micros, bro. Like, I'm taking 3 micros here. Why are you guys sizing heavily? What's going on, bro? Chill out. There's no point to sizing heavy here at all. How do you handle drawdown? Size down. Size down. There's the 490 level. That was first TP from an hourly swing low. 15-minute new hourly and new 15-minute all new candles are about to open up here in the next 30 seconds. So maybe it'll create something here that we could use as an entry. Maybe we got a bunch of 5-minute gaps, but I would like to see a 15. Would very much like to see a 15, bro. New 15-minute, new 4-hour, new everything. So we have this 15-minute gap, currently open 15-minute gap. So if we can close this in the next 15 minutes and leave it open, looks solid for a manipulation leg. There's a bunch of 5 minutes, but again, I would rather see a 1 minute, or sorry, a 15-minute here than one of the 5-minute gaps. All right, would prefer to see a 15 over the 5. Got a little waiting to do. I mean, if this is going to respect the range, which to be honest, I don't think it does. I think I would prefer if this is like properly bearish here now. But if it respects the range, this shit is just going to go right back up and trade inside of the range again. Leave the gap open, boy. 5-minute gap is going to get tapped into here, most likely. Just kind of have to hope that this stalls a little bit for the next 11 minutes to create this 15-minute gap, because that would be the best look for an entry. Unless this is seek and destroy and it trades back into the range, like all the way up to the back to the highs. That's what has to happen here. 5 minute be good enough with no, it's not. That's the thing, is it's not. Just from like 4-hour rules perspective, the 15-minute is the lowest time frame that you can use for a 4-hour high or low to be sponsored. So 5-minute is not ideal. Can it? Yeah, it can, but it's not ideal, right? So it'd be like, if you take a trade on that, it would be a much riskier trade, and you just gotta understand that, right? When we have, there's a 15-minute gap. If 5-minute equilibrium gets tapped into, yeah, but bro, we still have 8 minutes left till the close here, so it definitely, it's got to stall a bit for sure. If we have a chance at an entry, it needs to stall and stay around this area and stay above this low that we created. As long as it could do those things, then yeah, it looks good for that. Shorting 611, we have EQ of the session and wick. Is your bias still bearish? Yes. My bias will not change until we hit my yearly low levels, bro. It is most definitely still bearish. Will continue to be bearish. Only reason I'm not taking this off the 5-minute is because, again, I want to see a 15-minute tap for this 4-hour. It's a much better look than a 5-minute tap. Okay, we only have 5 minutes left for this 15-minute to close. So, I mean, so far it's looking fine. It's looking okay. We are stalling in this area. As long as this looks like this in the next 5 minutes, it looks good to trade up into the 15-minute. So we have to, we got to just wait and stay in this area. Trying to go lower. Hopefully we can hold this low, keep this setup intact. 3 minutes left. We don't have much longer, but obviously if it trades lower and lower and goes for the low, then this setup just basically gets invalidated. No, I wouldn't. If this flips green to red and trades all the way through the low, then I'm just not expecting a move back up into this 15-minute fair value gap anyways. We got a minute and a half. We haven't cracked the low yet. Shorted this as soon as the 30-minute candle closed below the low. See, the issue with that is you're like shorting the lows, and it might play out, but it's not a good short. I just leave off the 5-minute gap. It could, but I would prefer for it not to. We have less than a minute now for this 15-minute to close, so hopefully this next 15-minute has enough juice to just push up a little bit higher into this gap, and then we get a nice looking short from there. Oh, there we go. Nice. 15-minute, then yeah, or 595 is a limit. 595 as a limit is not bad either, but yeah, one of the two. I like 595 or a 1-minute CISD. I'll limit 595, stop loss at 605. No, stop loss 615 stop loss, so 20 points. Also risking about $100 here, and if that doesn't get hit, then I'll trade the confirmation here on the 1-minute time frame. Got filled out in 595. 1-minute change in state is basically the confirmation entry, so that's what we would need to see now. It might form some more structure here, because right now the change in state of delivery on the 1-minute time frame is all the way fucking down here, so that is very far. This 1-minute change in state is insanely far away, bro. We'll see what this does. Oh my god, bro, that got fried too. Okay, took about $120 loss there as well. I'm not seeing what like if this just trades back into this range, this is done for the day, bro. This is just absolutely done for the day. We were just back inside of the range from earlier. Broke the high of range, broke the low of the range, and still trading inside. Cooked. Maybe 1-minute like change. Oop, what is this, bro? Maybe we get a 1-minute change in state here, like maybe, but that's it. But again, like the 1-minute change in state again is all the way down here, so can't really use that. Like we would have to form some more structure here. Yeah, we've been in an order block though. Even that 595, like that was still an order block on a 15-minute time frame. That is an order block. Yeah, this just looks like shit. Inverse the 5-minute to the upside right there. Not a half bad long, but again, I'm not trying longs. I'm not trying long. This 4-hour definitely does need to manipulate lower. No manipulation like on the 4-hour, so we'll see. We have a few things like before this high right here. We do have this 758 level. That's the 15-minute wick CE. We also have this 5-minute inverse gap, and then 2 5-minute bullish gaps bearish gaps inside of there as well. We got both, but it just doesn't look very good. Like it looks like shit. I'll be honest with you guys. It looks like absolute horse shit. Watch this have inversed and then re-inverse it all the way back down. Totally something this thing might do. Could wait and maybe catch 15-minute wick CE. Yeah, just bro, like the issue is it just looks like shit now. To me, I'm not a fan. Look, for anybody who's trying to long this 5-minute gap, is getting fried, right? The 5-minute inverse gap is getting fried. Like you're kind of getting fried both sides. Long, short, doesn't really matter. You're gonna get fried both sides here. We do have an inverse here, like on a 1-minute, all that good stuff. Yeah, the only thing left that this could do is the 15-minute wick CE, but even then, I don't really trust it. Like I'm just not a big fan. Is it going to 426? No, it's going under 24K, bro. Like it's going under 24K, but the entries themselves no good. SPO3, I know it's looking good for shorts, but the price action inside of here is not looking good for shorts. Just because the higher time frame looks good for shorts doesn't mean the lower time frame does. 15-minute FVG flow model to the upside? No. Where do you see a 15-minute FVG flow model to the upside? There's no 15-minute FVG here at all. A flow model would be to the downside, but it's way too much risk. Look, a change in state of delivery is here. We don't have any SMT. But if we were to enter this, it's 150 points of risk to the high, bro. That's fucking stupid. That is absolutely retarded. That's never something that I would take. Never, bro. 2 minutes left until this 15-minute closure. Still no SMT or anything like that here. I use YM for SMT. I just don't use ES. So 15-minute played out, just got stop hunted. Unfortunate. Yeah, basically. It just went too high, bro. I mean, at no point would I ever... I mean, if I have a level inside of this 15-minute, right? Let's say, what's the high of this 15-minute candle? So the high here is 605, right? If I operate with a 20-point stop loss, a 605 entry would mean that I need to have a 25 stop loss, right? So you can see even 20 points, I would have to have a 40 plus point stop. Actually 30 plus point stop loss here in order for this to be valid. So yeah, that's the problem. There we have a 5-minute wick. This CE here could be essentially the only entry at 84.25. Not something I'm going to take. I'm maxed out here, 84.25. I'll tape read this if anything, but yeah. From the 15-minute wick CE, 84.25. So this is like the only half decent looking one, targeting like, you know, all these lows. We could watch this, kind of see how it goes, but for me, I'm done for the day. You know, play off equilibrium. I do. The trade that I took earlier was off equilibrium, or actually no, it wasn't, but I didn't have any levels here within equilibrium. The thing for me is like, I'm not going to prioritize equilibrium. I'd rather prioritize a pity array. In this case here, no pity array, right? There was no pity array where we rejected by that equilibrium. Literally nothing. For such a large previous candle, why not apply bigger stop? It's not what I do. It's not what I do. The levels are very precise. When they work within 20 points. All right. That's how they go. So at no point do I keep a stop loss bigger than 20 points if I'm using my levels. If I'm using FDT, then yeah, FDT for sure. Or sorry, if I'm using flow model, yeah, I'll end up taking a stop loss much bigger than 20 points sometimes. But flow model here still has not actually, literally still has not gotten the change in state of delivery. That's the problem. Like we can get it here, but you got 150 plus points of risk. It's just kind of dumb, right? Kind of stupid. Look, there's the flow model right there. 3, 2, 1, and boom, there's the flow model right there. But rather 150 points risk, I will pass. I will pass. It's not even gonna come back up into the 15-minute CE, bro. Yeah, see, sometimes look, that's just the way that it goes, where, you know, you have a very clear bias, right? Bias is very clear. The 4-hour looks amazing, right? Like everything looks great. However, the lower time frame price action is just shit. Just the way it goes sometimes, and that's the way it is here. The lower time frame price action not only is shit, but has been shit whole week. So maybe after the FOMC meeting minutes tomorrow, this kind of cleans up. But as far as this goes right now, I don't see this cleaning up for the remainder of the day. It's probably just going to continue bullshitting. Maybe one good trade setup shows up here today, like one good trade setup, but that's it. I don't see anything else that I would personally like to enter off of. So that's all I have. And yeah, that's it.